Hello, ladies and gentlemen, 'tis I, the jabbering magpie, bringing you more Shadowrun Dragonfall. Right, last time we discovered that Glory was powered by Satan, and Iger's team got killed in the usual hideous I had a team and they all got slaughtered mission trope. So let's check out the computer. Ooh, new messages. Salvage DVD. Screen flickers to life and Melit's face appears from the shifting background and ambient noise. It's clear that this message was recorded on a portable device. Hoi Mags, just wanted to tell you that I've met with limited success in working on that stack of DVDs. It's a thorny problem, but at least I'm making some headway. If you look on the table beside your DVD player, you will find another recovered disc. I wasn't able to salvage all of the files on it, but I think you might be able to find what I did recover to be of interest. For my part, I'm going to continue working on the other DVDs. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't hold out much hope though. They're all really badly damaged, and suffering from disc rot. Besides, I'll be in touch. My best to you and your team. Oh good, another DVD. Still alive. From Jana! Oh, Taser Girl Extraordinaire. I guess that I should thank you. You got me out of that horrible job alive. I don't think I could have made it out on my own. What happened on that run took everything else away from me, but at least I'm still breathing. The lodge turned me into a killer, Mags, that gnaws at my guts every minute of every day. I still can't sleep at night. Innocent people, normal people died because of what I did. And you know why they made me do it? Because they could. I don't know, maybe this doesn't bother you. You're a Shadowrunner after all. You kill people all the time. Yeah, I kinda do. Just another day at the office, huh? Well, I'm not like you. I can't just kill people on job and forget about it the next day. This is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I don't know how to live like this, but it's still better than not living at all. That's what I keep telling myself. And so I figured that I might as well tell it to you too. Jay. Recovery! Silka to Mags. Oh, it's Silka from the hotel. Hi Mags, this is Silka from the hotel. I hope it's okay that I'm writing you. Samuel gave me your email address. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you for everything that you did for me. Kicking my cram habit was the hardest thing I've ever done, and I don't think I would have tried if you hadn't talked me into it. To celebrate my newfound sobriety, I've decided to sign on as a volunteer at charity. Who knows, maybe giving back to the community will help things turn around in my life. Anyway, thanks again Mags. I owe you one. Yours, Silke. Okay. Any old messages? Nope. How much money do we have for Alice? Barely halfway there. Shadowlands BBS. Post up some pay data. Nope, no pay data. Massacre at Shatternest Schoolhouse. Really attention grabbing headline, right? That's how the local news have been spinning it. Truth is, the schoolhouse was abandoned years ago and was being used as a humanist recruiting and training complex. You're kidding me? A friend of mine was going there after class and he said it was just a community centre. I know none of you are fans of humanists, but that entire chapter house got wiped clean. There were probably some kids in there off the street who were just looking for a hot meal. Screw humanists for exploiting them, but they didn't deserve death. Good riddance to those assholes. Streets are a little safer now they're all dead. Went trolling on the humanist board and that place was totally wiped out. Volker Stahl was in charge of that chapter house. Good riddance to that piece of dreck. Heh, just got off the job to geek one of the humanist lieutenants. Seems like Stahl is dead and the power struggle is already underway. You're taking the job? Not my kind of work, but I gave Johnson an address to one of your Trix' dead drops. Cheers, mate. Formula 17. So we've all seen this one floating around, the Trix. This is some serious stuff. It's got heavy duty corp written all over it. Not a lot of players could be behind something like this. Ares or SK or maybe one of the big pharma companies. Corps. Say Sharing or AGC. Of course, you can never totally discount the Azzies either. Tolstoy, my esteemed colleague, this is indeed a recipe for some top shelf dreck. Whispers from the shadows say that it's sourced straight from the F-state. Hello boys, I'm a big fan. You know, long time reader, first time poster. Quite an interesting concoction you have here. I'm itching to cook it up. So many interesting properties to play with. I've already got a few tweaks in mind for my own special version 2.0. You sure you want to do that? This place stuff doesn't play nice. The corps are really bad at sharing their toys. You can, of course, always share the secrets for them. Just got to make sure you run a little faster than them. Always running, hey, CW? Like clockwork. Bandit, I'm touched by your concern, but it doesn't worry little old me. I do declare this shall be ever such fun. Save the F-state. The time rise up against the oh, it's a typo. The time to rise up against the corporations is now. Fight for a free Berlin. You just fall out of the time warp, the war is over and we won. Hard to imagine Berlin any freer. Maybe you just need to switch to decaf. As long as any corporation is active anywhere in the F state, we are all at risk. We must act. Corps are good for business and keep in their little corners. Why do you think we would help you? How naive to think they will stay there forever. Don't you see they are taking the freedom we all hold so dear? Plans are being made across the F state with the shadow community on our side. We shall prevail. The F state has its own way of dealing with those who step out of line. Take your politics somewhere else. Around here we got bills to pay. Running on SK. Scheisse, what a thrill. Had to do a simple data steal on an SK branch office turned into an OK Corral shootout. Never seen first response teams arrive that fast in my life. Had a Decker off-site running damage control, managed to distract the second team to a different building. While we jacked the car, the first team came in. Lesson learned simple, when it comes to SK means something else. You stole the corpse response vehicle, don't they have a tracker on those things? Of course they do, dumped it off the side of the road with a primed grenade in the back seat just to be safe. Nice one. Bragging about a nearly failed run on SK? Is it worth the time paying a Decker to backtrace your Shadowlands account? Any idea what valuable data they were hiding in the branch office? No idea. Money was too good to take any chances with it. Safely delivered it to and the transfer cleared. Nothing especially useful in there. Just talks about how we murked the humanist chaps. Oh, the payment. Give a Mark 6. A message pops onto a screen. Herr Schmidt to Mags. To call your work unsatisfactory would be an understatement. When I said we wanted a prototype, it should have gone without saying we wanted it intact and operational. You technically fulfilled the terms of our arrangement, so you will get paid, but don't ever expect to work for us again. Schmidt. A second message. Payment from the client. Deductions for crew salary, minus 600. Ammunition and resupply, 1,500. Another 11 grand to Alice. 3 and a bit grand to me. Okay, and these are the other jobs. Farmer cleanup job. Amsel's face winks onto the screen. Here you will find a complete transcript of my conversation with Herr Fuchs, a potential client. The job seems to be relatively straightforward and the payout is reasonable. One word of caution though before you proceed, there are aspects of this run you may find morally troubling. Be sure to read and understand the specifics of the job before accepting. If you do accept, you will be expected to carry out the requirements of the job in full. After reading through the transcript, you may choose whether or not to accept the job. If you respond in the affirmative, our client will be notified and I will make all necessary preparations for the run. Herr Amsel. Yes, I am here. To whom am I speaking? You may call me Herr Fuchs. Mr. Fox. Ooh. Very well. Please describe the work that you would like to have done. Straight to the point. I like that. Very well. I would like to retain your team's services to clean up a mess. Go on. My employers dispatched a team of operatives to conduct a quiet operation at a local sharing farmer AG lab. Unfortunately, they botched a job. The team was eliminated, but we have reliable information that one of the operatives have been taken capture. If this rogue agent were to spill information leading back to my employees, it could lead to a corporate war. A great many lives could be lost. My employees would like nothing more than to prevent such a tragic turn of events. Ah, you wish to retain my team's services to tie up loose ends? Exactly. The captive operator is a rigger by the name of Thorvald Enstead. We need him neutralised before he can inform us or honours to his captors. and Enstead and his team have already put the facility on high alert. Stealth will not be an option. Your team will need to shoot its way in, eliminate Enstead, and exit the facility. A straightforward enough task and well within my team's capabilities. What are you offering in terms of pay? 15,000. This offer is non-negotiable. Very well, I'll pass this offer to my team. 15 grand for an assassination ain't exactly great. Let's talk to Dietrich. Been a while. Hey again, boss. You need something? I was thinking about what you told me earlier. You said your idol was going to make you pick a fight that you couldn't win. He shrugs. It's bound to happen eventually. Probably sooner rather than later. Is there something you can do to stop that from happening? Well, I suppose that I could refuse, but that probably wouldn't be a good idea. Especially not now. Remember, boss, the Dragon Slayer is where my magic comes from. If I turn away from him, you'd better believe that he'll turn away from me. Besides which, I don't even know if I can refuse him anymore. He's been with me for so long, I don't know where he stops and I begin. He grins at you. Don't you worry about me, boss. I've known that this was coming for my entire life, and when it happens I'll go down in a blaze of glory the likes of which you cannot even imagine. That's a promise. You can't really believe that your idol wants you to commit suicide. Of course not. The Dragon Slayer doesn't want me to die, but he does want me to kill dragons. That ain't supposed to be safe or easy. It isn't my idol's fault, but I'm getting too old to keep with him and his wishes. What if you pick a fight with a different kind of dragon, say maybe a gang or a corporation? He pauses for a moment. That's an interesting idea. If it were big enough and heinous enough, he might be satisfied. I've never tried to bargain or negotiate with a Dragon Slayer before. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't know how he'd take it either. The Dragon Slayer doesn't like to be questioned, and his temper's even shorter than mine. But I tell you what, boss, I'll think about it. Any updates on Alex? Nothing new, boss. He's adjusting. It's going to take some time. Thoughts on the last run Dietrich given me? There was nothing about that run that didn't disgust me. What they did to that troll. He shudders. It wasn't right, boss, on any level. I don't care what anyone else tells you. You listen to me, Max. What you did killing that thing, it was the right call. Yeah, it cost us some new yen, but letting that thing live would have been a travesty. Nothing right now, Dietrich. Okay, DVD time. Come on, kids. Gather round. Third DVD. DVD player boots up. Track 1. 2042-0805. It's Green Winters. Hey, I was thinking about Adrian today. Not as he was when he disappeared. Not as the fabled Dragon Slayer. Or the big-time CEO of Deal Defense. I was thinking about when we were kids. Well, I was thinking more of a kid than he was, of course. He was 15 years older than me in a way. He was more like a parent than a brother. Winters pauses, his gaze drops to an invisible point on the table in front of him. So I was thinking about this time when we were on our holiday. Our parents took us out to the island of Pol to enjoy the beach. I must have been about 5 years old. Adrian was 20. It'd be his last family vacation with us. A year later he'd begun his meteoric rise to fame and fortune. But on this trip he was my brother, and when I fell out of the little paddle boat that our parents rented and started sinking fast into the Baltic, he was the one who dove in to rescue me. You saved my life that day, Adrian. I love you forever for that, and I will find you. I owe you that much. Play track 2. Green Winters again. 6 of 6, 2049. Found an old news article that mentioned Adrian from back in 2037. It was printed in the financial magazine called the Finanzwesen, one of those chic print-based mags that they produced for the retro crowd. There aren't any clues here, but it's good to see someone else acknowledged his existence. He clicks an off-screen button and the image of Winters disappears. It is replaced by a digital scan of a magazine page. Die Finanzwesen. SK stock suffers in post-buyout brain drain. In the aftermath of Dragon Lofier's hostile takeover of Seda Krupp Oh god damn it, Germany, why do you have to use so many compound words? Schwering Industrie Gesellschaft. I can't remember what Spear. Schwerpunkt is Spear. Spearpoint. An industry is industry, of course, and Gesellschaft is company. So Spear Industry Company? Okay, it's been a very long time since I did German, so if somebody can tell me what that means, possibly the Austrian kangaroo, can you translate Schwer Industrie Gesellschaft for me, please? A continuing brain drain of high-level executives is causing ongoing worry among many corporate shareholders. The company's stock took a major hit when Lofier deposed former CEO Wilhelmina Graf Benoit last August. 3 months later, long-held power positions within the SKI empire continued to empty as the Dragon consolidates its power base. The most recent casualty of Lofier's takeover include Alexander Kobayashi, former COO of Seda Munitions, Matthias Dorner, former treasurer of Ruhr Datafax, and Werner Harding, former CEO of Deal Defense. Harding stepped into a role to replace Dr. Adrian Vauclair, who disappeared under mysterious circumstances 2 years ago. Winter's face winks back onto the screen. So there you have it. That's what they had to say about you, Adrian, a mere 2 years later after his disappearance. My brother, the footnote. Track 3. Track fails to load. It's a meaningless stream of text again. Absolutely nothing decipherable. Corrupted, another meaningless stream of text. There has got to be something within these that I am not picking up. I'm just not seeing. If anybody can see anything that I'm missing here, just leave it in the comments or send me a message. I'll be really appreciative. Track 5. A rattling sound fills the air as the disc grinds in its tray. A few seconds later, the screen fills with text. From the desk of Werner Harding. Dr. 2034. Dr. Vauclair. It is my stern duty to inform you that by unanimous vote of the Aufsichtsrat, your position as CEO of Deal Defense will be terminated at the end of this calendar month. I'm assuming those are like the Aufsichtsrat is like the chairman or the board. Your continued misallocation of company funds to pursue personal agendas cannot and will not be tolerated any longer. The supervisory board is not unsympathetic to your mental state. The trauma that you endured during your pursuit of the dragon Feuerschwinger must have been enormous. But your continuing obsession with the dragon, the dead dragon I might add, has proved a negative influence on this company, and an unjustified drain on company resources. The board wishes you all the best in your future endeavours. We have prepared a generous severance package to assist you in your time of transition. If there is anything more that we can do to help you, please don't hesitate to ask. Werner Harding. Okay, so Vauclair was shunted out of the company, which I'm assuming was then bought by Seda Krupp, or it was a part of Seda Krupp. And then Lofier ended up buying it. Oh, I do like that upgrade to Mr. Tumnus. Okay, let's see what Paul's talking about. Amsel calls over his shoulder at the sound of your approach. His eyes are glued to his computer display. Mags, Frau Müller should be on her way, but before you go to the meeting site, I have news. He glances at you and his words trail off. Upon seeing the expression on your face, Amsel's voice becomes grave. He's convict. Tell me what happened. Bad news, my friend. Somebody is hunting us. They set up an ambush on the U-Bahn line. Amsel nods and then gives a curt... Amsel pauses, then gives a curt nod. Jesus, I'm doing sentences backwards. Truth be told, I've been expecting that something like this might happen. I'm just glad you made it out alive. Here's the PDA one of your attackers dropped. Amsel takes the PDA from you and examines it. Yes, I should be able to extract some information from this. Give me a moment. He plugs the PDA into his computer and goes to work. A few moments later he lets out a grunt of dismay. Well, Mags, I was able to recover a file, but unfortunately that's all I'll ever be able to pull off of this thing. All that anyone will, truth be told. Must have been running some kind of counter-intrusion software. The instant that I gained access, it bricked itself. Amsel disconnects the useless PDA and drops it to the ground. It clatters to a rest on the metal floor. What did you manage to get off it? A comm file. The audio is all here, but it looks like we've got only video for one side of the conversation. Let's see what we have. He opens the file and a nightmarishly familiar face appears on the screen. Oh god, who is it? Oh, this fuck. Bachmeier! The voice bleats out from Amsel's speaker, filling the room. Odran here, what's your status? Bachmeier's image is garbled, but his voice sounds young and eager. Target acquired, sir. You were right. We spotted him on the U-Bahn, just like you said. Probably on his way to a job. As per your instruction, we're going to try and take him out on his way back. He'll be more vulnerable that way. Hopefully injured and low on ammunition too, but only time will tell. Good man. Proceed as instructed. Will do. Cosman is rigging up the ambush spot now. We'll try to make this quick. Send me a comm when the job is done. Odran out. The image on the screen dies. Amsel turns to face you. Well, our scarred friend makes an appearance. Mags, I suspect that Green Winter's prediction is coming true. I believe that Feuerschwinger is behind this. Under Amsel's patient exterior, you can feel worry that's eating at him. Be on your guard. You and the rest of the team. You made it through this attack relatively unscathed, but next time you might not be so lucky. At least we now have a name to put to a face. Odran. That's not all we have. As I was saying when you first walked in, I've been productive as well. I was able to uncover some new evidence in your absence, and coincidentally enough, this evidence pertains to our scarred friend. Does he have anything to do with that hellish troll that we found? You might recall that I said I'd dig into Odran's skin grafts. Well, I did, and the search has finally borne fruit. One of my contacts outside of Berlin handles the paperwork for private hospitals all over Germany. It's a dull, boring job, but it does have its perks. Amsel opens the file on the screen, a medical chart opens up. As it turns out, our scarred friend's skin grafts were performed at a legitimate hospital after all. Damn it, I can't read the charts. Well, that's good news. What do they say? Well, they're rather light on identifying information. Our friend's names are listed as Max Mustermann, the local equivalent of John Doe, but they do cover his injuries in great detail. Odran's injuries were extensive. He had 2 broken ribs and a shattered pelvis, and he has sustained 3rd-degree burns over 60% of his body. Most damningly of all, he was suffering from acute radiation poisoning. His body has absorbed over 5,000 millisieverts of ionizing radiation, a lethal dose without treatment. Somebody's been fucking around in the SOX, evidently, and faced a dragon. The information dries up at this point. We know that he was treated and discharged, but that what happens afterwards is a mystery. Your thoughts? Hold nothing back. I'd like to hear everything that comes to mind. Well, it does sound like Dragonfire, but also sounds like Odran we'll go for the radiation poisoning and the SOX connection. Yeah, might have spent some time in the SOX. That radiation poison doesn't happen on its own. Agreed, 5,000 millisieverts is a lot of exposure. Short of basking in the glow of an unshielded reactor, I don't know how he'd have absorbed so much ionizing radiation without spending time in the SOX. Alright, so Odran was heavily irradiated, most likely from time in the SOX. What else does this tell you? Well, these burns sound like Dragonfire, but if a Firewing burned Odran, why would we be working for it now? I don't think Odran is working for the Firewing. I believe he is serving her. On Green Vince's second DVD, he mentioned that there is a cult with the SOX that worships the Firewing. The disciples of the Cleaning Fire. I believe that Hodran belongs to this cult. There's nothing more dangerous than a zealot. My thoughts exactly. A hireling can sometimes be bribed or reasoned with. A pawn can be liberated. But the Fire Wing's soldiers look upon her as a goddess figure? Nothing short of killing her will deter them, and even then that might not stop them. It is possible that Hodran is a dragon cultist. This seems to fit with much of the other information that we uncovered. Any other red flags jump out at you? The hospital couldn't ID Hodran. Either somebody covered his tracks for him, or he was living completely off the grid. Indeed, if Hodran was a denizen of the SOX, a glowpunk, his lack of identifying information would make sense. It's a working theory, at any rate. So to sum up, Hodran has possibly spent time in the SOX. It's possible that he even lived there as a member of Feuerschwinger's dragon cult. And he's after you. Amsel pauses for a moment before continuing. In my mind, all of this reinforces one fact. We need to find Vauclair, and we need to do it fast. Agreed. Good. That's all the more reason to gather Alice's fee as quickly as possible. There is a buzzing sound from Paul's wrist. He lifts his hand to look at his PDA. And, as luck would have it, Frau Müller has arrived. Best of luck at the meeting, Mags. Remember, this is urgent. We need that money. I'm on it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe this is a good place to leave it. A rather heavy talking episode again. But we have a few quests which look like they're going to be fun shooty time. Take the U-Bahn to Ardnerplatz. Take the U-Bahn to Drogenkipper. Yeah, this is going to be a laugh, but for now we shall leave it here. I'll just get past this loading screen, in fact. So, if you enjoyed that, do leave a comment, a like, or a subscribe. It helps me out enormously. But for now, I shall wish you a very tattiest of byes. Bye!